Lady D Denise Gomez, and I have exciting interview segments and features inside the zone. For recording artists, you can sing. Well, Inside the Zone, second Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. is for you. Writers, share your story, no man, in From the Author's Zone on third Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Male Zone has unbelievably juicy stories of love, heartbreak, and triumph. 7 p.m. has never been this good. On Mondays, it's news, talk, engaging features at 7 in the Monday Drive. And Center Stage has everyone talking on Thursdays. Be a part of the show. Email me insidethezone@gmail.com or call me 914-304-2592. Welcome to another feature of Saturday Morning Runnings, aired live Saturdays at 10 a.m. I am your host, Lady D Denise Gomez, producer of Inside the Zone. Inside the Zone is aired Mondays 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Thursdays 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Linked Radio in Mount Vernon, New York. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my YouTube channel. This week's topic on Saturday Morning Runnings. Come make we labrish, talk up the things. On Valentine's Day, couples express their affection in many ways. Candlelight dinners, a cruise, dancing the night away, or gently whispering the magic word softly, thank you. But what piques our curiosity is how they met and who said, I love you first. And do they make the time to live, love, and bust out in a big laugh in their relationships? A Saturday Morning Runnings, come make we talk. Last week, we delved into our Black History feature. As a result, we weren't able to do the Saturday show for the lovers. So we decided to do that as a post program this morning. And therefore, we also decided that we would keep we mouth quiet, not say a word, because we had, members of the crew who are married and, things are just happening for them. And we thought that we should invite their spouses to join us. And therefore, we hope that the whole world is going to be joining this morning to get all the scoop, as we would say, labrish, about how they live, how they laugh, some of the pitfalls, because it can be just easy peasy all the time. But I'm still there years later. So I'd like to welcome everyone to the show. It is now 8 minutes after 10 o'clock. Again, my name is Denise, Lady D Gomez. Joining us this morning are, of course, Shernette Mignot Brown, the conscious one, Jackie Brainbox Tyson, who just a study up a storm, and Max Poet Lyons. And we'd like to welcome her hubby, Norman Lyons, to the program. Now, Sharns, where is your beau?
He'll be along shortly. Somebody had a car situation, so he
Oh,
went along to see something about it quickly. He'll be along at some point.
all righty. Thank you. And in keeping with the theme of Valentine's Day, I see we're all decked out, not all, because we did do ours last week in red.
Mhm.
So Max and her husband, Norman, are looking lovely in red and white. Norman,
Yes,
I'd
brothers.
like to, before I acknowledge Max, as we usually do,
Sounds.
I'd like to welcome you to. I'd like to
Yeah.
welcome you to Saturday morning. I know you're a fan and you have pretty much identified all of us in terms of who is good at what.
I saw.
So,
No, some
because people, when
normal.
they watch the show, they can say, Lady D, maybe she on this end, whether me left wing, right wing, or Jackie, so and so, Sharonette, and, Max herself. So I believe Norman had already, you know,
Normal are the expert, I
uh,
guess.
determined who is who. So I'd like to acknowledge you, Norman, and to allow you the opportunity to say morning to our viewers.
Welcome, Norman.
So thank you for having me.
Yes,
And
man.
and I probably not on camera in the mornings. I might not see me on the set, but I watch these episodes.
Yes.
So thank you guys for what you're doing.
No, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's
So,
lovely to have you, Norman. You are, might I say that you are mentioned every week.
yes, there's
One of
always
Max's favorite thing to say, Norman and I. And Norman and I. So you are
Norman and
mentioned
I.
every week, Norman.
Yes.
That's true.
Me feel like me know you a long time. And the
yes,
That
first
is
me I
true.
bless my eyes on you, but glad to see you.
yes,
I
yes.
kind of feel away that right? So I mean,
So true. The feeling is mutual.
I know everybody can watch, see, you respond to sometimes, but you
Uh-huh.
probably not hearing me, not seeing me, but yeah.
Yes. Got you,
Mhm.
got you.
Okay.
So again, welcome, Max. How was your week?
Well, my week was fabulous. Some in betweens, nipping and all and things. That otherwise, it was good. It was productive. Can't complain. Very
Alrighty.
productive.
And thank you. And Jack, how was yours?
Ah, the beginning of a new semester. Thank God I made it through that hump. That the hump that I just finished. That semester that I just finished. That's like hump day. That's the crucial part of the course. That's
Mm-hmm.
where they weed out
Yes.
people, and that
Mm-hmm.
course is no play. So
Oh
thank
Lord.
God I made it through, and I got the email from my professor saying that you passed. I said yes.
Wonderful.
Okay, him better send an
Nice.
email then
Awesome.
and better send it.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Good job.
Congrats, my dear.
We know
You are
it's not
doing
Yes,
great.
easy.
yes.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we know
call
it's
him
not
brain box,
easy, but it's worth it.
Yes. Yep.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
So, Sharns, how about
Yes.
you? How
I
was
had
your
a good
Easy.
week. I had a very good week. Um, yeah. I wish the weekends were longer, but the week seemed to go by pretty fast.
Pretty
The
fast.
days look long, but then the week looks short. It's kind of weird, but
hmm
what can you do?
Oh, yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
but the week was good. It went on fine. Thank God. Here
Okay.
we are. Yeah.
And for me, uh, I chose to make the week um not as hectic because say about 2 weeks ago I was just overwhelmed But thanks
Wow.
be to God, yeah. I chose that last week I would pace myself and stuff like that, so I wouldn't get all bent out of shape, which happened.
Mhm.
But anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a good day, and
sometimes.
we'd like to welcome
Mhm.
everyone to the show. We're going to talk about Valentine's Day, how it was spent, and for our couples to share how they met, some of the challenges they've had, and why they're still together today. Because sometimes people make a decision that, come what may, you may a keep, I may not leave it. and so, uh, And so here we are today. As always, we like to acknowledge our audience because without them, we would just be talking to one another, right?
Right, right.
And thankfully, that has not been the
I know.
case. And
Mm-hmm.
we appreciate everyone who are on with us this morning. In addition to that, the moment you come in to the space, please share the link and say, hey, want to hear some lovey-dovey story that'll go on this morning on Saturday morning runnings. Let's
Mhm.
acknowledge who was first in our room this morning. Vero. Morning, Vero. Then Horton Small, aka Princess, who is watching us live from Canada. Morning, Princess. Then, of course, there is my Celeste, a member of my church. Mornings, too. And our buddy, Ryan. Okay, okay. Come here, Jesus. Lady Max have Lady Max have company. So me say,
Right.
boy, yes, sir. Red and white are happy
Oh
here. Andrea
boy.
says, howdy do. Drea, we need
Right.
to hear how you spent your
Oh,
Max, your screen is a little hazy. Maybe you could. I don't know if that's
I think it's because of the
Mm.
the
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 light.
Wi-Fi. The
Oh,
Wi-Fi.
oh, okay. It's,
Okay. So morning, everyone. Again, it's our post Valentine Day show, and we want to find out, how things
mm.
go. Love, some people say they fall in it.
that
Mhm.
I feel like you're on a pinnacle and just drop,
And who was
or
running through
some,
Mama
or
back door?
right.
Yes,
What was
and
that,
trip
Jackie?
and so, who was running through Mama back door and trip over the fever grass tree and tumble down to go
Uh-oh.
meet them love of
Uh-oh.
them life.
Okay, we don't know if anybody
love.
have that.
Mm-mm.
That was story we hear last night.
Oh,
So in keeping with what we have going on today. Last night I met up with some classmates of mine from high school. They meet up periodically. So whenever somebody has a birthday or so, luckily I'm down here now. All along I was in New York, so I was never able to meet up with them. So last night we met up. It was one of the girls' birthday. It was 7 of us, and Lady D and friends. The stories, Mr. Gosh, this is where Saturday morning runnings need to be.
right.
The story is so in keeping with what we're talking about this morning. But anyway,
Nice, nice, nice. So, Valentine's
So,
Day.
We are just
Some, what you said, Max?
I said we're in the season,
Yes, we're in the
yeah.
Valentine's
season.
season.
yes.
So
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So, Valentine's Day, as we know, it's celebrated by many people. And there are those who don't celebrate it. They think it's pagan. They think, it's just a day when people go all out when they should have been doing the deed every
All
day
along.
of
Mhm.
their lives with their
Mm-hmm.
spouses. And but it's on the calendar and it is acknowledged. I remember working when I was working back home in Jamaica. I was on the tour inside the tourist board. And when we looked outside across the street, I think it was over by Century National, a beautiful spanking BMW that
Ooh,
that
that's my
that
car.
that year, whatever year that was again, was parked outside, wrapped up with bow and something.
Wow.
Oh yes. And they went
Lovely.
inside and asked for whoever, because we are upstairs looking down, so you could see that they went in, and then a lady came out, and she stopped when she got outside and looked. and she may be not thinking is anything for her, but then they pull her to the car and say, you can see them talking to her. It was her husband who bought her a brand new
Oh my
BMW
gosh.
at the time. I would hope that they're
Beautiful.
still together today.
Let's hope.
That would have been quite an investment,
Because
right?
sometimes the big gifts don't mean nothing, you know.
Right.
Thank you.
The
Yeah.
average person
That's
looking
true.
on will wish it was them, but the receiver sometimes say, I can go on.
For
Hmm.
real.
Because
Yes.
yes, sometimes,
Hmm?
I mean, we want to be positive,
Stories like that.
yes, but sometimes the big gift is covering a multitude of sins on the other part.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes.
And so, people have really been excessive. There are people who are excessive. There are those who they are not as emotionally attached that way. Um, yes, they're married because people can tell you that either when they got married, they never really loved the person, but afterwards,
Them
they
grew up on
grow,
them.
i- i- they grow to
Yeah, I've
love.
heard stories like
And,
What?
there are a myriad of reasons why people have stayed together, why they have separated, and why they
Mhm,
celebrate Valentine's Day. So
mhm.
I'd like to start off with Norman and Max right now. You guys have been married for how many years again?
33. This December of this year will be 34.
Wonderful.
Wow.
So we would just like to give you a few minutes to introduce how you met and so on. And you know how we do. We just butt in and talk and all that until Sharon's until it's Sharon's time with
Yeah,
her
But
hubby by the time he should be
but
back.
he's
it has
here.
been so long that I can't even remember.
That's a kicker right there
Okay,
now,
so
Norman.
We
Don't pinch him, Max. Don't
we
pinch
married
him.
for
Oh,
33 years now.
me now
No,
pinch
no,
you.
no, no.
See me as
We
a-
married for 33 years now, but we're literally together for like 40 something years.
Okay.
And we were
what?
together for
Mhm.
8 years.
Yeah, we were friends for ages
Oh.
before we got married. We met in
Wow.
college. We both. Well, he's from Manchester. I'm from St. Mary, so I went to college in Manchester, West Indies College. It was West Indies College back then. It is
Hmm.
now the University of the West Indies. And that's
Mhm.
how we met because I lived in the district. I didn't live on campus when I went to college because it was cheaper to live in the district. So I lived in the district right close to where he had his business and his parents lived because he had a shop. And by the way, my always tease me and say my parents and come to college and become look man. That is the teasing that
And
Why
it
man?
the
Why
was.
teasing
man
every
look
day,
on
every
you?
time.
Oh
As
dear.
if man, as if man never look on you. Eh?
Right? Right. So that's how we met
Lordy
in
Jesus.
college, right there. I remember I was standing at the gate at the house where I was living, and he walked down the road and saw me standing out there with him bunch of keep on his side
Aye.
because he was running shop, then grocery shop and bar. And we chat up and we talk about school, of course, because that was the reason why I was there to start school.
Mhm.
We started in the summer, and of course, he was asking what course I was going to be doing and what course I was going to be doing for the summer of that year. So we talk about what we were going to then told me it's time that he was going to be starting classes too, because he
Oh,
did business. He did business, and I did secretarial.
okay.
So we kind
Mhm.
The
of
tumble.
meshed right there because right now I'm still the secretary in the whole family setting.
The man was setting
Yes.
himself up to have his personal secretary.
You know what I say? Because right now in the family in general, I am the writer, as you all know. So anything that has to happen within the family, whether it's his family or mine, I,
Mhm.
I, I become the secretary. So I do all the writing, the communication, the whatever. And even in our marriage, I'm the one that does the communication. If there's a letter to be written, if there's a phone call to be made to do anything of that nature, I'm the
Mhm.
one that does it.
It's
So
Max.
yeah, so we were friends for ages before we got married. We got married in 19. We met in 2000, 1982. That's when I went to college. That's when we met, and we got married 89. So it's a matter of
Okay.
40 years, 40 little years.
Okay.
Since we've been together.
Mm,
We've been married a total of 33 years, going
okay.
34.
Nice,
They say the
nice.
what they say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, and I really and truly believe that that conversation or that, if I should say cliche, because everybody uses it, but it's true. As I remember
Mm-hmm.
when I was in college, him always carried sugar and lemons to make drinks.
Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We,
he used to carry sugar and lemon for me to make drink for him, and I would make him some nice drinks. So
all
Make him
right.
nice sugar water.
Huh?
Lordy
and
Jesus.
I also remember
Mhm.
the first time I had strawberry, because I didn't know what strawberry looked like or tastes like living in Jamaica. So the first
Mhm.
time I had strawberry was via Norman. He made them, or you mash it or blend it, crush the strawberry with sweet milk,
Mhm.
and got some for me in a chiffon dish. And then the chiffon butter dish, yes. And it was so
I
Oh,
lovely.
mean,
I put it in
Mark,
the chiffon container.
Mark,
And if they, uh-huh,
you know they call that
what was that?
ambrosia.
Yes.
A serious love affair
yes,
type something that
ambrosia.
you know. If
Mhm.
Norman
Yes.
know where I do. Norman, more power to you, your brethren.
Yes.
I love that. So Norman,
Yeah.
what was it about the drinks so much? Is it just that you wanted her to just make something for you to watch her make it, or you did thirsty, or what?
Yeah. The
I'm
thirsty.
not even sure what it was.
Uh-huh.
I'm not even sure what it was, but you have to do something to spice
Uh-huh.
up the relationship. So you do
Relationship,
whatever you
did it
have to
reach this
do.
up?
God gives
All
Hmm?
right. Sweeten it up now, man. We
But
don't blame me. Yeah.
you know what? The key to any relationship, the key that keeps people together is you have to know who you're choosing.
Mm-hmm.
You can see
Mhm.
2, 3 people, but you have to know the one that you're choosing. And when you're choosing, you have to choose somebody who can uplift you in where you're weak, and you can uplift them in where they are weak. So
Yes.
that keep it together all the
Absolutely.
time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a key. You have to build each other up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So when you saw,
Yes.
so Max, when you saw, because all right, so
me.
we are get the little ground work here, but we want to know sparks. When the sparks flew,
When did it spark, right?
I don't know. We just go and continue to see each other until things get right, and
so I would like
eight
to ask,
years later we do what we have to do.
mhm,
Mhm.
because like everything,
Okay, so
right?
it's like that.
There's a momentum, right? There's a build up. So the first time when you met, fine, on an
Yes.
exchange
What?
pleasantries and thing.
Mhm. Okay, what I also what everything that really connected us and still connect us today, to date, the fact that
Mm-hmm.
I am not great at numbers, and Norman is not great in English. English is my strong point, numbers is his strong point. When we were in college, I was weak. I'm weak in numbers, so and he's great at numbers. He can calculate like this. He's a whiz, I should say. As Princess would say, he can see through a brick wall or can calculate numbers in his head. He's really good like that. I'm not. And I remember when I was in college, he would help with my I had to do introduction to what's the subject?
Bookkeeping.
To bookkeeping and bookkeeping one. And he had to
Mm-hmm.
help me, practically tutored me and showed me and helped me to make sure I could pass that subject, because you have to pass that. So it was a major part of my curriculum. Had
Right.
to, he helped that area. And of course, in the English area where he was English, you got to do paper, you got to write paper and so I would help him, help me. So we really balance each other with those subjects
Mm-hmm.
were concerned. That's one of the things that has kept us together to date, believe it or not. We balance that.
So that's basically that's going and
and I think once after college, I'm done. I remember one I never had phone in my house. He had phone in his house because he comes from a rich family. But I lived in Kingston and I never had a telephone in my house, and I never had cell phone back then. But my girlfriend who lived next door to me, she had house phones, so I gave him her number. So whenever he wanted to talk to me, he would call her phone and she would call me across the fence, and I'd run over to take the call. So I remember when he called me once, it was a Sunday. He called and said, need to go get your finger measured. We need to get married, yes? Because all of that time, even though I moved out of Mali, but we never cut off communication. We communicated on the phone. He would come to Kingston to do business and to look for me as well. You know, and when he called and said, get your finger measured, I was like, my friend was more excited than me. She was, really, you girl, no, you need to go do it. So, of course, I got it measurement. Or we didn't. I don't know what happened there. But anyway, I ended up in Mandeville the following weekend, and we went to the jewelry store. And I chose the ring and did a fitting right there. And I came out with the ring at the engagement ring on my finger. When I went back to my job the Monday morning, it was just excitement in the office. Yeah, so.
So I would like to also welcome Sharon's. Would you like to do us the pleasure, the honor?
Yes, ma'am. This is Ralph Brown, the one and only.
That's welcome, Ralph. Thank you
Hi,
for
Ralph. Welcome to the show.
agreeing to
Welcome
join
to
the
the show. Good to have you.
Yes.
Thank you.
All righty.
Yes,
So
welcome.
Max and Norman
Ralph, you have
now going
company.
into their 34th. Max and Norman now going into their 34th. How many years have you guys been married?
50. Sorry, I'm just kidding.
And him adding 10 to it, take 10 off. We're not reached there yet in the fall.
In the fall. Okay.
In
Well,
the fall.
congrats.
It's gonna be 40 in the fall.
But we're coming
It's
from
gonna be
19.
40 years.
Yeah, we're coming since 1979.
I hear that. Yes. So no, but you
Wow.
both couples are looking
Awesome.
great. You have
This is my high school love right here. My baby, my heart.
oh Lord. Yes. Sir.
Right.
Who wants to go
Right,
first?
so
So who wants to go first? Who met when? How? Go ahead, Ralph.
Okay, so I can remember I seen this girl. I was hanging out by my dad's place back in the islands. So she was coming from school. All right now. Ciao. Ciao.
I'm sorry. I was about to say, but Ralph, you have one accent.
No man, no not all. That's right though.
Yes.
Anyway, I've made me reminisce a little bit, yeah.
Yes.
So me see this girl a come, and the first time me see her, me hold on for her school bag, I would have never get back to her. And the only way she could have get it back, she would have to come to me so me could introduce her to my father. And me introduce her to my father. I said, Daddy, this is the woman that gonna wear my ring. And if she can't wear it, no other girl can. And she went today.
It's a brown body.
What?
Mind you, I was a little girl, 15 years old. 15.
Going 16. 15 going
15
16.
going 16. 16 come after 15, no so.
Yes.
But I wasn't
Yeah.
I wasn't 16 yet. I was 15.
What?
Can you imagine when he said to his father, this is my I thought he was gonna say this is my friend, or he said this is my future bride. Me almost dropped down, you know. Yeah, me almost dropped down on this part. I couldn't believe it. But I just saw him say,
Yes. So what was it about her, Ralph? What was it about Sharon so much that, I mean, you were so bold?
Man, let me tell you that she used to go to this school where they wear this white uniform and blue tie out of Verna. She was like an angel. coming out of nowhere with that little slim wire waist and thing. Me say, man, me reach a heaven instantly.
Oh, I didn't know.
Lord Jesus.
Grab, keep it real.
So maybe I had asked
And it is flashing.
I asked Max and Norman about sparks that flew, but for your catapult, go away. For you.
Get out on.
See what they spark a rocket. A rocket fire.
Tell
I
you,
explosion.
explosion.
I know she
This
was my
boy-
soulmate instantly. This is my soulmate right here. I know it instantly.
Oh my, that's so good. So
You
Sharon,
know?
give us your take here now.
Well, I did not know instantly. He knew instantly. I didn't know instantly. But you know, you initially, I mean, at the first meeting, I was a young kid, no doubt about that. That is why when I talk to young people now and they tell you how they feel about, maybe a prospective person, I can identify because most people would say, yeah, like a pit, no. But I did feel something when I met him. I wasn't expecting it. He was in his father's store, just because he was 17, so he had come out of high school and started college in Montego Bay when they just made Montego Bay Community College, and I was in a fourth form coming from high school. So I was just going home, and then that's how we met because I went into the store. And he would help out in there when he came out of school in the evenings, and that's how we met. And he just by him, he had a little catchy phrase. He don't remember everything. His name is Ralph Brown, and the mayor of Montego Bay at the time name was also Ralph Brown. It was so he's saying there was the mayor of St. Andrew. I know there was a mayor whose name was Ralph Brown at the time. And when he introduced himself to me, he said, "Oh, my name is Ralph Brown." I thought he was kidding, and he said, "Like the mayor." He was just so happy to say that part. But he was very, very, very charming, but not overly so. Like you meet somebody and they're overly sweet and all on you and stuff. He was very charming in his own way, and it just pretty much went on from there. And he's a very good writer, and he would write me all kinds of stuff. I have love letters until now.
Oh, nice.
And I even have some. You see how old this is in the original packaging. Hold on. This is a lover's diploma.
Aye.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That is so sweet.
Love
This is
it.
a lover's diploma.
Oh, Lord.
This was from the 80s. He gave me this as a lover's diploma, and then this is another thing. So he's very
sentimental.
you see? And I still have them. How many? We've been together 44 years. So it's been that long. But he's a very good writer, and he used to just I love words.
Yes.
I love words. So
that's so nice. So you should frame them though.
I know they were framed one time, but being here and moving, you kind of put it back in and back and forth. You'd be surprised the stuff I have from then. But we've been coming along. And what else was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else.
This is like a board for the retirement crib.
Sure. That's right.
But I have a lot of letters that all that stuff from back in the day, autograph books and all kind of stuff. So he got to me to the heart because he's a wordsmith and I'm a wordsmith. So when you like words and he could put it together and he would write my name and put what the S mean and the H and the E and he spell out the whole thing and he have a whole rhyme. I just said, who is that? He write you a poem quick.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yes, Jack, go ahead.
The love of my eyes, for you I will die, and if the sun never rise, you will ever be my. Oh my God.
Jackie, you wanted to ask something?
No. I was gonna ask if they still make those whole species of men.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, man,
I
they're
would
much.
say so. It's just that we have met
Otherwise, you have to go clown this one, you see?
right, right. And
I
again,
always told them.
so
I always told them they're two of my favorite people. I think they were the
mhm,
two first couples I met when I went to Brownswood Church,
yeah.
and I just felt so close to them. I don't know why. I was just drawn to them, and I always say they're my two favorite people.
But tell me something now. Um, and this is posed. Jackie, you want to ask any question before I do? 'Cause,
No, not right now. Go
yeah.
ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so I
Yeah,
want to
go
just
ahead.
ask. Now that you have um been together for so long, when did you start to adjust to being married, sharing space? Because fine, maybe I don't know for Norman and Max if you lived together or you were just together for 8 years prior. But whatever, it doesn't
Mhm.
matter, whatever the case is. When it then comes to being married,
Right.
physically being together, and marriage begins. Now,
Well, for us, we have been very close, extremely, extremely, extremely close from the get-go. From the word go, we have been very close. And I think that we did not have to make any major adjustments because we were so young and we grew up together. Because I wasn't a woman yet. He wasn't really like a grown man yet. So we kind of grew into ourselves. Because I remember one day he looked at me and he said, Sharon, so you turn big woman. I had said something. And he said, how did you turn big woman? So we were together, when we were young. So like no when we never lived on our own before. So
mhm,
pretty much we have been together all our, since that time we've been together from that time. So we were never like I was not independently. I've never, been living on my own to say, well, no, he's in my space, or he was not living on his own to say, no, I'm in his space. Let me have to share my dresser drawer space. Let me share such and such. We just came together and we just been together the whole time.
mhm.
So that's
Right.
that's pretty much it. And might I say, we had a lot of adversity, and that in itself, made a strong bond, between us.
Hold
It
on,
was
baby.
not.
Hold on, stick a pin on the adversity there, so. This is one I got take a cake. So then it happened down as a bushman when I wear clothes. Lord have
No,
mercy. When my
no.
mother-in-law hear that she have to fly from foreign to come see if I true.
Oh, so there was a rumor.
Lord God,
What
and people are ball I water for her. Say man come from out of the
hold
area
on,
come get her.
hold on. Listen, our story is long, and it will take more than one episode of Saturday morning. But what it is, when you're from a small district, people tend to want to peer you off, and they have in mind who they think you should be with.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Unbeknownst to you, might I say. And the small district I grew up in,
Yes.
there were boys my age and
Yes.
so that had eyes on me. And I think their families, not think, I found out later, their families also had eyes on me, to be a potential
Mhm.
wife
Oh,
material for
yeah,
them.
sir.
Yes, and then Ralph now. See Ralph here. Yeah. Ralph has always had locks. Ralph,
Mhm.
see, Ralph have locks, and I'm saying he has locks. He's not Rastafarian,
Mhm.
Bono this, Bono that Selassie type person. He just like locks. And in my way of thinking, he was
You
forward
just have
thinking.
luck, right? Because
Yeah,
hairstyle.
no, because back in the day when somebody have locks, you are Rastafarian,
I
you
am
worship,
Mhm.
saying,
you worship Selassie, you
Mhm.
are caveman, that type of thing. And he went to boarding school. So had he been home, I'm thinking he probably wouldn't have been able to grow his locks, as
Mhm.
he did. But his mother passed away when he was born. So he never had a mom growing up with, and his older sister, he stayed in boarding school and went shuttled around to his siblings and his dad, during the time. So what happened is he was able to sneak and grow his hair. So by the time he come out of school and then see him have locks already.
Yes.
And the school pretty much let him go. He can say more to that,
Mm-hmm.
but but back then the people in my district when they met him, and he was a very good soccer player, they're so afraid for him. Good soccer player, excellent player, and he played for a team in Montego Bay, but he would come up to my area and play because him don't want to see me.
Mm-hmm.
So when him start playing with them, no, they were trying to discredit him, like, where did some boy come from and all of that. So they, district people. My
Yes.
mother was born in the district I grew up in, so she knew people, and they started to write to her and say, "Me pick up this big man, and a boy that." Ralph was muscular, he was working out. He had like a six pack. He was very strong, and him run them soccer cleats, and him was all that.
Right.
So
I
now
love
my
it.
so,
I'm jealous. I'm
so
jealous.
yes, but no,
Hold
we
on, stick up in it. I'm not joking.
Huh?
I used to have girls who used to fight to carry my soccer boots when we done play.
Ah, yeah.
And what I say?
You find them.
It was a
Okay.
listen to me. It was a star. So they just felt like he came in the district and he just picked out the best of the bunch. And they
Mhm.
never were supportive, because my mother literally had to write, because I didn't have a phone in the house. So she had to literally, I think she wrote a letter. She said, "Call me. If it was no, we can do video call. It would have been a FaceTime call." But she said, "Call me, let me talk to him, because I'm hearing," because I sent a picture to my mom and said, "Here is this guy I'm talking to." And it was his school picture, him had on him khaki with him little epaulette and
Colette.
him thing.
Mhm.
And my mother said, "But I want young guy. How them a tell me say I want big man?" But they were trying to
Yes,
discredit
man.
him. So
Yes.
yeah, it was a number of things. We went through a lot of adversity as far as people and their mouth talking and belittling and saying stuff that weren't true.
Mhm.
They were saying, "Oh, you're gonna breed she off quick. See them, they're too young. Our mother, they are foreign. By the time she take her up,
Ah,
her feet are go broke. If I go
Oh,
don't
broke
you
her
just hate that?
oh
District people
Lord.
just
District
sometimes.
people.
yeah.
Same so
So we weren't
community.
adults.
Mhm.
We were not adults. I remember, even some people would say, "So
I
how did
seen a
it
dead with
happen?"
laugh.
Yeah.
So you see, that goes to show us who God bless, no man curse.
That's right. So
And
let's
Oh,
take
who God has bring together, no man put
Yes,
asunder, not even yourself.
absolutely. So let me find out from Norman now and Max. So, I had thrown out the question, what was it like now when you both had to start live together? Anybody did get on anybody nerves? Who not like this? Who not like that? You know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
There's a little delay.
before we never lived there. I lived in Kingston after I graduated from college, and he lived in Mandeville at his parents' house before we got married. But after when we got married in Kingston, of course, because I didn't. I said, "Listen, I'm not moving out of Kingston unless you find a place. I'm not leaving my parents' house." That was a clear-cut statement from me to him. So he found an apartment, and like a week or two after we got married, he came to Kingston with a truck and moved me into Mandeville, into an apartment. Yes, oh my God, yes. So living together at the time, because we had known each other for a long time, spent a lot of hours together. We got counseling before marriage and after marriage and all of that. So it was living together wasn't anything dramatic for me. I was able to share because the man with my grandmother, I saw how they operated, my mother and how they operated with men, how they treated their home and general. So I today I still operate that way. Know how to cook and clean and wash.
You're industrious man.
To take care of us. The only thing is not. But need free and he's not. So that was pick up things and put stuff away. And even do that because he's out of place. And I believe in a place for everything and everything in its place. That's my philosophy and thing.
Can I make an answer to that?
Okay.
Go ahead, Norman.
She's clean. she would clean any and everything, but I would fix everything. So
Yes. So we
it's
kind
not
of
that,
balance.
So you
I'm not
balance each
doing.
other
I
out.
fix anything because she's not fixing anything.
Right.
Right. So she's not fixing
Yes.
anything, but she,
So you
she clean. She don't want
yeah.
this here. She don't want that here. So she always have
I
movement
guess
and
we're all
fix.
like
So
that.
it just
Yeah.
the
So
But tell
Lord
me
know
one
what you
thing.
want to do. So.
She,
Hmm?
Not
go ahead,
only
man.
that, I do things a certain way. Everything and anything that I do it a certain way. For example, in laundry, I fold my pillowcase and my towels a certain way. So when I put them in my closet or in my drawer, whatever, they have to look neat. That's me. I'm kind of OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, when it comes to certain things. It has to be a certain way. So that way, it's not. So
Okay.
he's the opposite of that.
Yes,
You
yes,
know that,
yes.
but as I said before, we never had any problem really and truly. Apart from that, we hit it off. Okay, living to an issue at all.
Mm-hmm.
We never really had
So
any
I have
major issue. Living
I have
together
a
was what matters.
question. For they always say teeth and tongue must meet.
Go ahead.
And no matter how good the relationship is, at some point
Yes.
there must be some little disagreement, of sorts. It doesn't matter if it's big or small. How do you handle that? How do you
Yes.
get around back to loving that person who
Okay, so that question
is so dear to you? Anyone of you?
Oh, well,
okay.
I
Yes.
am,
Yes. Well,
I am the one who would be more mouthing off. He's the cool, collected, and calm one.
Mm-hmm.
This one, he don't.
Really?
Yeah, he don't like, some people that say, yeah, follow me up and all of that stuff. I've seen like couples going back and forth. If I'm miserable about something or I'm complaining about something, he will just let me go on and go on and go on. And then him say, all right, you don't know. Because if I was wrong, he may make me go on and when him take me, he may ask me if me done. And if me say yes, me done, then him will say, I know did so it go, I really did so it go. And then me say, Lord, I did so it go make me a go on. But that's him won't, and he's not, he's not like miserable to be. If I see him, getting upset over something,
It must be
it's
so.
really extreme.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very passionate about it, and usually he's not wrong. Whatever he's very passionate about,
Mhm.
he's not wrong. So I will pause because that is so rare. If I see him getting, beyond certain level of intensity, must I say, then I back up because I know very likely I am wrong. If it's something with me and him, I
Mm-hmm.
am wrong or he has been wrong. But he's not the type to be, miserable and back and forth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a little additional to that, in all relationships, as you know, teeth and tongue must meet. But she, as she said, she's the fire, but I'm the cooling water.
That's
So
right.
the fire must put out.
You
And you
need that balance.
So that was
Absolutely.
right. So that was one of the things when we use govern myself with she, very concern, and number two, which me use, which I'm a guideline for every my marriage, and I think people should use that to govern their marriage. Is that one? Use that God, you put God up front, and this is us right here, God ahead. So whenever you have an issue, whenever I have an issue or she have an issue, whenever look to she for the answer, I just look to God as the answer, and then He put that peace and joy we pass it all understanding in my heart. That's why I become the cooling water,
That's
and
right.
then it
Okay. So let's pick up with you and Norman.
Yes,
And
Norman.
Jackie, you have a
Yeah.
question?
No, that's the same question to Max and Norman,
Yes.
because everybody handle things a little differently too.
Mm-hmm.
okay. So as you said, yes, I just said teeth and tongue.
love the church in such a way
Will
that
meet
He
and
died
love
for
in
the
the
church.
trust me. Ours has been
Hold on a
served from
moment.
day one. As you know.
Continue, Max.
Yes. So you have to love your wife as Christ loved the church. And if you and
Okay,
everything
as I
you
was
do,
saying,
Okay, so there's a delay on Max and Norman's end. So
Mhm.
Sharns,
Yeah.
you froze a while ago, so we just allowed Max and Norman to continue.
Okay.
So
Yes.
continue, Max.
Yes, as Jackie had asked the question, and I was saying yes, teeth and tongue will meet because we're humans first, and none of us are perfect. And there has been a lot of meeting of teeth and tongue with Norman and I. But the one thing I have always done and I've always taught, and was taught by my grandmother, is to pray. I have done a lot of praying in my life and still do today. I live by prayer. Secondly, we do not go to bed with animosity.
Yeah.
Even we argue about something is second and we're best friends at the same time. That's the thing about us. We don't keep up things. We don't go and make it go into days and hours and days. We never get to that point. Up and I slam do carry on. I'm telling you. Sometimes it would get heated, but with the beautiful thing about the whole thing is that we do not keep adding wood to the fire. We quell it.
Right.
Right.
Whether it's
And
me first saying
no
something to my
disrespect.
but we ever talk. We have to do
Good.
the malice keeping and the long drawn out. No, we
Yeah.
never take
Good.
it that far. No matter how loud we get, we our carry on. We never ever keep it up. We're
Right.
best friends. Now we're Danny, but we talk about old time things, laugh about it. We do a lot of looking back and laugh and talk about it. We do a lot of that. We are
Yes,
each
that
other's best
reflection.
friends.
Yes.
Sometimes we can
Yes.
finish each other's statements. We have done that on television.
Very
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
So
So what we
go ahead,
do
Norman.
is we literally change the subject, something else, and it changes the vibes, and we're gone again. So again, you don't like something and you're gonna make narrate, but you just move on. You move on and change the subject. And
Right.
Because as Shirley says, I'm the mouthy one. I will sometimes stretch things.
Yeah.
And sometimes he does the same thing. I was keep quiet and say
Yeah.
depending on the subject, sometimes
Sometimes
we
you have
sit
to
down and
agree
next
to
to
disagree,
depends
is
on
what it is.
subject
Yes.
matter.
Yes. And
Yes.
one thing I
But a
know,
lot of times,
one thing
he
I
just give in to me.
one thing I know from one thing I know also from experience is that you don't sweep things under the rug because it doesn't make it any better. So
No.
if there's a situation, then it's worth you sit down
Yeah.
together and talk about it and try to work it out. It's good when you have a partner that you can understand that way and that you can you can quell the situation like Max says and not just sweep it under the rug because it's gonna stay there and fester. And it festers until when it bursts out, it's not good. And I'm
It's
Yeah.
talking
worse
from
than when it
experience.
started. Yeah.
Yeah. So now
Right.
that there are so many people, there are people watching, and there will be people who will watch this as a delayed broadcast. And a part of our theme this morning is the live, love, laugh. Because
Yes.
sometimes couples get so caught up into making a better life. You work continuously. You don't enjoy any of the money that you're working. And there is no time for a laughter moment, whether it's,
Uh-huh.
everybody just so tense. You come in, you go
Yes.
out, the routine is so rigid that you're not enjoying each other the way God ordained it to be.
Each other.
Yes.
So what do you do to live inside of your relationship? What makes you laugh? What do you do where you go? You treat yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What are you being examples to other people who are
Absolutely.
seeing in your marriage?
Are
Because
there
some
little
people don't really get no
surprises?
right.
Are there little surprises around the corner?
Mhm.
I hope, I'm absolutely sure it's not like I was told what's joke to you is death to me. I was
Mhm.
told
Oh,
that in my, so I always ask people just to make myself better, to look within myself to see if I'm living up to what it really is supposed to be when I look at couples like you two couples and see, how you live your marriages.
Mhm.
So
I love that.
basically, the first and foremost thing, you both have to want the same things. Then if you both want it, you both got to stay on the same page, you know. And it comes down to scriptures. If you live your life according to the scriptures, you cannot go wrong, right? The Bible says, husbands, love your wife as Christ love the church.
Mhm.
He didn't say wife them love them husband, but don't take care. But the guy didn't say wife love your husband. He said wife,
Husband, love your wife.
husband love your wife, and wife obey your husband. That obey mean respect. Respect your
Mm.
husband. Your
Both
wife not to
ways.
love you.
Yes.
Your wife not to love you, you know. All she
Yeah.
wanna do, once she respect you, she gonna love you.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Because the respect is born with a love.
Respect is love. So
You
Mm-hmm.
understand? And
Yes.
husbands, love your wife as Christ love the church. Even if you have to give your life, would you take a bullet for your wife? Enough man say, no, sir. Me a go find a new girl. But me dead for my own. You see this one here? Me with dead for this. Oh,
Right.
Um, I think
what?
some oh, go ahead,
Go
Norman.
ahead, Norman. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one thing with our relationship, right? Maxine doesn't drive,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
and we create odd jobs around in our lives because of our in the country. We live 17 years without documents, right?
Mm-hmm.
And both of us we go everywhere together.
All the time.
So people, if people see me on the road and Maxine is not there, they're asking, "Where's Maxine?" Because
Together.
we always together,
Yes.
you know, always
Yeah.
together. So I don't know, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah.
and this has been like this ever since we lived in New York and even here because we shop at certain places and do business with certain people. So if they see Norman and I'm not there, like for example, yesterday there's a West Indian store here that we shop. We get our yam and sweet potato and stuff. And every Friday we go there. And yesterday we went there. Normally I walk in, pick up the basket at the door and walk in front. But yesterday Norman went in before I did it. I was delayed at the door. I delayed at the door trying to get the basket out. And the young lady saw Norman and said, "Where's Maxine? And where's your wife?" Right away she said, "Where's your wife?" Because they have never ever seen one without the other. When they go to the dry
Right.
cleaner, it's the same thing. So everything we do together. When we used to go to the barber shop, we would go together. Now we cut each other's hair. I cut his and he cuts mine, and that's what we
Yes,
do.
sir.
Yes,
Well,
yes. So we do our own barbering.
Lady D, you have to go to
Yeah,
something that
and
Martin says here. This is
you
interesting.
know what my answer to
Okay.
that lady was? You know what my answer to that lady was? She'll
Uh-huh.
never see me without her. That's what I tell her. She'll never see me without her. If she's not coming, I'm not coming
Wow.
either.
Yeah, he's not going to shop
very
on his
nice.
own.
Yeah.
We just do
Yeah,
everything
but
together
I
every
I
time.
think
Mhm.
also if you
Yeah.
like Ralph
But
had
so
said, if
Ralph,
you have this,
yes, yes, sir. Okay, so I'm up.
no,
Yes, so
I was saying to you that
Go ahead, Norman.
you I was saying to Ralph that him face look familiar because I used to live in the Bronx there, you know, so his
Okay.
face look real familiar. I'm
Quite
okay,
not sure.
possibly. Quite possibly.
yeah,
Yes.
So
yeah.
let's look at some comments and questions that are coming from the chat. So Ryan says, and this is for you, Max and Norman, what the one thing that he say to you, Lady Max, what you like about him? What is it you like about Norman?
Or one
Okay,
thing.
well, Norman, the one thing I can say this to everyone and to the world, Norman, he's a great provider.
Mm-hmm.
He is a great provider, and he has bought me some real nice expensive in the past. And now he kind of not so rich. Only to me. But he's a great provider. That's the one thing about him. He's a
Mm-hmm.
great provider. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. And Princess says, Charnette, we have two things in common. Um, the year you met was the year I came to Canada, and we both will be married 40 years in the fall.
Oh,
Okay.
All right,
wow.
princess.
All right.
Wow.
Similar
Nice.
things going on there. But all right.
Congratulations.
So there is, how you living, enjoying your marriage. What are some of the great laughter moments?
Yes.
That you actually do something if you laugh after on yourself or something happen that created some kind of comedy in the whole thing. Max, Max
Comedy
start
and
laugh
laughter.
first.
Comedy and laughter is always a thing. And might I say, we never finished the first question, about the living,
No,
we're onto the
continue.
laughing, but we
Yes.
ain't get done with the living part.
So go ahead and live.
I have every day where I bring somebody lunch for me from work. Whatever he eat from, if him lunch, him bring some for me every day.
Even now?
Yeah, of course, no. I mean, back then, no. Every anything he eat for him lunch, bring some for me. So
Oh my.
that's a every day.
Oh,
But
that's so
but
sweet.
he's very spontaneous. Very spontaneous. He will just take me somewhere, or he say, pack a bag, we going such and such, or he won't say where we going. Like, he gave me a nice spa day and he didn't tell me where he was going. And I bathed and lotion up and put on
Right.
clothes and fix up here. And we drive and we see him head to the bridge, to George Washington Bridge. So I said, sure, where we are go. But we did a lot of traveling. We like to go away to bread and be not Airbnb, but B&B, bread and breakfast. We like to do dinner cruises around the city and things like that. So I said, well, it's in the middle of the day where we're going. So I thought we were going to, I don't know, Philadelphia or whatever. And he stopped at Fort Lee, and it was a spa day I was getting.
Oh, I know that far. If it's the same place.
Yeah. So when I got there, and the woman said, well, go into that woman undress. I said, but I just bathed. Me said, me just bathed and me well lotion, put on favorite cologne, well perfumed down. And she want me to go bathe. But it was because it was a spa day.
Yes,
I was getting a
yes.
spa day treatment. Yeah.
Oh
So
dear.
that was nice. So little things like that, it helps to spark and spice and
The
enhance
lady
the
scrub
whole.
off back your lotion, eh?
Yes,
Imagine that.
come back everything. But
What that
it
remote
was a good experience.
Oh
It was a
Lord.
good experience.
So Norman, when I asked posed the question, I saw you and Max popping laughing. What is it about you two?
Say
I don't know what to say.
Still laughing. Max is still laughing.
Yeah, because some of the spontaneous moments we can't talk about it here.
Pop it up, pop it up.
Okay, I get you. I get you. No problem.
We can't
Well,
talk
well,
about it, but
Ralph,
remember so spontaneous.
Ralph is a comedian and he's a good dancer. So he will just dance for me, in various stages of dress or undress.
It's coming like we're having a stripper moment coming on here.
Yeah, we have to
Now
we have to
get too
set,
much, but
we
I
have
love
to
it. I
censor,
love it. I love it. I love
we have to
it.
censor some stuff. But I mean, there are a lot of times me and him go
yeah.
out and people think we are siblings. We actually went away on one of our
Oh my goodness.
anniversaries. We had gotten a cottage to borrow in the Poconos from a coworker of mine, and we spent remember we spent the weekend, but our anniversary is in October, so the weather is touch and go. It can be a lot of snow or cold, whatever. And we went to a diner. It was a gated community. Went to a diner to stock up on food because the weekend was supposed to be very snowy, and we bought a lot of food, went back to the cottage, spent the whole weekend, lock up. And then when we were leaving the following week, and we stopped for a little, top up. And the guy said, "Where's your brother?" Just like Max said, I met him. I said, "Where's your brother?"
Let
Yeah,
me tell you, when you spend so much time with this person, start to look again, like brother and sister. Like, trust me.
Yeah.
I can see that rub off on me, look at me, start rub off on she. You see?
Max, you know man start look alike, and you and Sharon look alike.
We
Ralph.
get that a
Right.
lot, so.
Mhm.
The people tell us a lot.
yeah,
That we look like it.
yeah. Sometimes we are out and when we not big
that
laughing.
I've done in the past.
Yeah, We can borrow each other glasses and all that stuff. Same
Oh,
Okay.
prescription.
that's amazing. So if you're just
Oh my
joining us,
God, this is awesome.
we'd
One
like
of
to
the things that
welcome you
I've
to
done,
Saturday morning
even
runnings with Lady D and the crew. And of course, this morning we're talking about come make we labrish, talk up the things, and some things can be mentioned here.
No, so my cheek them hurt. Oh,
So
I love this.
we want to welcome you. Don't forget, you're tuned into Saturday morning runnings, aired Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. on Inside the Zone YouTube channel. And we're taking a quick break. It is now 9 minutes after 11 o'clock. Stay with me. Hi, I'm Lady D Denise Gomez, and I have exciting interview segments and features inside the zone. For recording artists, you can sing. Well, Inside the Zone, second Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. is for you. Writers, share your story, no man, in From the Author's Zone on third Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Male Zone has unbelievably juicy stories of love, heartbreak, and triumph. 7 p.m. has never been this good. On Mondays, it's news, talk, engaging features at 7 in the Monday Drive. And Center Stage has everyone talking on Thursdays. Be a part of the show. Email me insidethezone@gmail.com or call me 914-304-2592. Welcome back. 10 minutes after 11 o'clock, Saturday mornings with Dea. While you're on, please share the link. The people in your contacts may not be able to join live, but once you send it to them, you can say, hey, the show ends at 11:30, so you can hop on afterwards and watch it. And invite them to like, to share, and subscribe the link for the YouTube channel. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and then things will happen after that. We're talking with, of course, Sharns and Max alongside their spouses, Ralph and Norman. And it has been an eye-opener for a lot of us, right? You've seen Charnette and Max, and you perhaps know their spouses, but hearing them sharing notes about their lives, that's amazing. And we thank you both for joining us this morning. Our audience, as always, they are always participating, and they've had their own conversations from time to time. Ryan said, based on what you had mentioned, Sharns, that from he was a child, he I love that too. My grandfather would always eat and leave some for me too, no matter what. So there is that very endearing trait about sharing, which is
And Lady
which
D,
is so good.
you remember I had shared that I was afraid of bridges.
Yes.
Where he lived, there was a bridge between us, and he used to come to the bridge every morning and sit and wait for me to
To cross.
cross.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
And
gosh.
bring mango. If it's mango
Oh,
season, bring
Lord.
me mango.
I forgive
Lord,
it
so
with you,
so
Guinea.
we could perhaps sing
You
like a
know,
bridge over troubled waters. Yeah.
I want to Shirley can find one of the letter that is earworthy that you can read. When I love
Oh
letters.
Lord. Them kind of farish, cause
Oh, okay.
I let you see one, Jack.
Okay, so yes.
No,
So
them innocent.
Yeah,
Them innocent.
I was about to share.
Oh,
go ahead, Max.
go ahead.
Okay. I was about to share that I have given Norman quite a few birthday surprise parties. Not major parties, but real surprise. I remember the first surprise when I gave him was when we had just gotten married. The first place we lived in Mandeville. And it was his birthday, so I asked for hotel at the time. So I got one of the ladies in the kitchen to bake for I did leave from work and I had the bag with the cake, and I'm telling him, the cake never mash up because I'm trying desperately to have a party. So I took the cake today. This is Friday. Saturday came home and my friend who lived there going to do the cooking. I came on Saturday. So I could get rid of unknown and rice and curry and everything, make it a drink. And I hid the whole thing in my house so that I couldn't smell the food if he happened to come home. So I get him to leave and go to the shop. No, where was he? That wasn't the shop. Who it was? The car mart. I get him to go to the car. So at the time of the party, I didn't know it was a party. Everybody who came from different parties, they driving in good. And I had the lights off as if I was in bed. So the night when he walked home and opened the door and switched the lights and everybody screamed, something, I almost gave him an heart attack.
Oh,
I thought it was a total surprise. The parent was a long parent and he ran the fetal position totally. He wasn't dressed or anything because
oh my.
that was the first time I gave him that surprise party. Wow. And the second time he was surprised. So I got the second time I was here in the States when we lived in New York. I got my landlord to take him away to the shop, tell him I'm gonna do some he wanted to do some inventory. The landlord he wanted to do inventory. And the landlady and myself we did the cook, I mean the whole 9 yards. And when he was in shock because he never had a clue. So but the second time in Jamaica after I did the first one, the second time he said, you can't catch me again. You can't happen again, you can't surprise me again. You know what? I ordered Kentucky chicken, bucket chicken and I took the party to the office instead of eating.
Oh.
So and he was still surprised because he didn't know.
Yes, yes. All right. So we can give that to you, Max. Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
coming up with new things to keep, your relationships going. These things are good.
Yeah.
But can I ask both couples?
I think that is stuff. I
What
think
did
it's a
you say,
dangerous thing.
What surprises?
No, what I was saying, I think it's a dangerous thing. I think it can give people heart attack doing that. I never do.
People have had heart attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have smelling salts. When you do that, have somebody with a bottle of smelling salts. In case the person pass out, you just whisk them and bring them back quick.
Yeah. That's an idea.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you're seasoned, you're seasoned in your marriages, you're over 20 years married, both of you. And we have seen in recent times where couples, they get married and say in the next 2, 3 years, 5 years, they throw in the towel. And sometimes some of them want it to work. They say, counseling, or they get other forms of intervention. And, maybe one partner just stick out that it's not going to work. And it's severed. How can you, because of course, for each couple, they go through their marriages in different seasons. There might be a very turbulent season. But if they're willing to stick it out, then that season will pass. So the marriage vow, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, for sickness and in health until death do us part, it's not a vow that should be taken lightly.
Amen.
As far as a single person observing for so many years, couples over my lifetime. And you wonder if we came together for the right reason, because sometimes the reasons, the motive is not right. And so if there is that presence, it is going to manifest at some point in time, and the marriage will definitely fail.
Yes.
So how do you, what are the pointers rather you can share from your own experience, from a biblical perspective, to guide people who are entering into relationships. Because can I tell you, people will meet, they sit and they can go dining like 365 days for the year. They might eat dinner, they're going places, but the critical questions that need to be asked, sometimes that's omitted. They don't ask, they don't find out about the person they're talking
True.
to, and the person don't find out about them. And so everybody just get feelings, as a good friend of mine will say. And before you know it, that's the motive for the marriage. They want married.
Mm-hmm. And maybe the jugo jugo sweet.
Oh,
All that.
Anyway, that's another motive for marriage. But the real
That's
motive for
real.
marriage,
If they're
That's
having
real.
any jugo jugo.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
right? You see them
We have
wedding
to talk
vows?
real, you know,
and you
because
say,
sometimes that's absent in some marriages. So
yes,
it's real.
yes. But as you said, them vows have to stand out most and foremost. You know you love a person, you know your soulmate, you know you want to spend the rest of your life with that person, but also you have to use the scriptures and your vows when you feel all else is failed and you feel like you're not there nowhere and you don't know where to turn. You just go back to the simple fact them vows for good or for better or for worse. Some people hear better than I see hear worse. For richer or for poorer. Some people hear richer than I hear poorer yet.
Mhm.
You understand? And you have to learn that the better half of it. That means say, if my wife was like a stick and now she a 500 pound, me they love her same way. For better or worse. And if my husband is rich and him poor now, me they love him see even more now that him poor, cause there's people who want to look for him. So you have to even love him more. You understand? So and then it comes to the scriptures. Divorce is one thing. Then it come down to the scriptures. You have to back it up with the scriptures. Husband, love your wife as Christ love the church.
Yes.
You
So
understand?
Sharon's
And
what's your
one and then wife, respect your husband, obey your husband.
Absolutely.
Because it's the word of God. You
Mm.
understand? And two, you put Christ in it. You understand? And gentlemen all over the world, make me tell you, because someone who egotistical like our. You see, you must learn to bless your woman and put her first. Also, to sum it up in a nutshell, just give her winnings. Or when you're right, you are winnings. You want a happy life? You are winnings. Enough time me right, I know some my wife out there, but she not see it, or she has a fair perspective. You are the winnings. You want peaceful life? You are winnings.
I hear you. So Sharon's what's your take?
happy wife, happy life. That's what they say.
Amen.
Happy wife, happy life.
True that.
So what's your take, Sharon?
Happy wife, happy
Well,
life. Yes.
well, I mean, living is real. It's not a fairy tale. And you have to take the good with the bad. When the rubber meets the road, you have to have something to fall back on. It's not all about the dress and the jewelry and the friends who are coming
Mm-hmm.
and the acquisition, whatever you have acquired over a lifetime, over years, whatever. It's what happens between both of you. You know, that's the most important thing. So you can't be blinded by or influenced by other people. You have some marriages where the wife is probing the husband to get what the neighbor have. You know, you as they would say, you envy the Joneses or you want to live like the Joneses. You know, what you have is what you have. What you're aspiring for is what you're aspiring for. But it's a matter of knowing that it's a real thing you're on. It's not a fairy tale. So there
Absolutely.
are gonna be good days, bad days. You're gonna have seasons. Because over all these many years, we have had ups, we have had downs. And we get closer with all the downs. Whenever we have struggles, we get more close. That is something that is true for this relationship.
And let me interject real quick right here. That's why the scripture said, God set you down to rise you up. So when you see I go through your marriage, I go through some troubles, just stick it out and do communicate with your wife, because God will say what? Him set you down to rise you up.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of time when him a get ready to bless you, when him a get ready to bless you, the enemy who not
Yeah.
love nothing about marriage because of the significance of marriage, him try to tear it down. And him said anybody I use anything or anyone to break it down. So you as your two individual Me and she, we have to dissect that and do what's best for us and put the ladder front. See me and she here, see ladder up here so in there. And see me and she down here so.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but it's a real thing, and that is why when people say,
Yeah.
"Oh, we have been married for
Behind.
such a wonderful
It
years,"
coming like yesterday.
yeah, but not only that. The point I'm making is that not all the years are wonderful.
Right.
You understand?
Mhm.
Sometimes there are external forces. It's not necessarily things that's happening between
Absolutely. Yeah.
you and the person. Yeah, you might
Mm-hmm.
go through a period of want, of lack, of illness. A lot of people don't realize if the person is sick, you can't all of a sudden your affections change. You
Thank
know,
you.
you
Yes,
if
please.
they're sick, they're going through something. You can't just switch off and looking around for the next best thing and
Mm-hmm.
all of that. So there are periods, there are seasons, and you just have to know that it's a
Mm-hmm.
real thing. You have to, that is why you want to be in it to win it, but it's not a fairy tale. Life comes at you, it changes. Like with us, I've always had a problem with people
Not at
saying,
all.
yeah, we fell out of love. We fell out of love. I have a problem with that
Mm.
because your love will change over the years. Like it ebbs and flows and ebbs and flows because you have children. Like for us, when we had children, it changed. Now we have children. Now we have grandchildren. Then we have dependent parents. Your parents get older. You have dependent parents. So
Mhm.
it's a number of variables that come at you all the time. But like Ralph said, you have to remember it's both of you in it. And if you put God first, He's our source, strength, provision, protection, everything. You put God first, and then you just strive to honor your vows and live one day at a time. Don't bite off more than you can chew, and you
Mhm.
will make it.
Mhm. Thank you. So
Mm-hmm.
Max and Norms, what's your take?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, behind every successful man, there's a good woman.
Whoop whoop.
So you don't want, once you get that good woman, you do everything to keep that good woman in your
Mm-hmm.
life. So you don't want to say, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna get another woman and all of that." No.
Mhm.
Behind every
And it's not a
successful man,
competition if the woman has
you
a
get a
little
good
bit.
one, you hold on to her.
Mhm.
Good.
Mhm.
And couples also need to know that
Yeah,
it's not a
you
competition.
just have to do whatever it takes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But if I
What
may,
as Ralph had mentioned,
go ahead, Max.
sorry, as Ralph mentioned, that I wrote down right here. God is first in everything, and truly believe it. As Shirley mentioned, it's not a fairy tale. When the peace and the intercourse is over for the other comes behind all of that. There's also because remember when you're married into the family of the woman or the man. So if your
Mhm.
Mhm.
father wouldn't like you too much or a sister, all of that. Those are part of being married. Mother-in-law, father-in-law, all that.
Oh yeah.
Because in at some point it's going to happen. Whether it's it's to take each other of my back and vice versa.
Max and Norman,
Then it was
the
the
Wi-Fi is acting up
then the
a lot. It's
Yeah,
causing
it's
it's
really,
causing your sentences to
yeah.
break up. So we're all trying to, understand what hear and hear and understand what you're saying. But
Yeah.
it's a little challenging because you're breaking up a lot.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And one thing, if I may just add this in here,
but in as a
one can I go ahead,
Yeah, go
Lady
ahead,
D?
Jackie. Hmm.
Yeah, no, I was saying one thing that we need to do, like Sister Shirley says when she's counseling like young people, but our own children or young people around us, teach them your way, how you because they're going to fall in love. They're going to find somebody. They're going to have feelings that they don't even understand, because at the age of 15, you are feeling these things that it's very complex, and you don't even understand how to manage it. So now that we know a little bit more and more exposed to things of the world, and people can communicate faster and all of that, these are the things that the young people need to understand. It's not easy. Relationships are not easy, but when you're feeling these feelings that you don't understand, know that you can come to us. We are a wealth of knowledge that we can share with you, and don't turn them away. We just hope that people don't turn them away when they come to us and present their feelings. If they feel comfortable enough to come to you and present the feelings that's going on with them, that's within them, that's very complex. We hope that they can find people like you and Ralph and Norman and Max to talk to, and they can share.
You know what? Too, I tell couples, be real with these younger ones. Be real.
Yes.
If there was a pitfall you fell into, if there's an error you made,
Share it.
you can share it as best you can. Or if you see that you're heading in that direction, don't act as if you're born big and you know everything. You know what I mean? Because yes, you're gonna grow. Your aspirations might change.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because like for me and Rob, we were teenagers. We didn't know what we're gonna become. We were aspiring for this, aspiring for that. But during the time, if you realize that, look, it's us, no matter what, it's us. If you become a nuclear physicist, wonderful. If I decide I just want to work in the bank or whatever, wonderful. But you have some couples who they start duking it out because the man resent the woman. She's making more money. The woman says,
Exactly.
all that, where you think you come from. It's a lot.
That's why I said earlier, it's not a competition. It's
not
a relationship.
It's a partnership. It's a partnership. What goes for one goes for all. What this one have, the other one have. But you know what? I was in a wedding one time, I was a bridesmaid in somebody's wedding. And when the pastor was let them say their vows, and when he said for richer, for poorer, the bride, I was a friend of the bride. And when he said for richer, she said for richer. When he said for poorer, you could hear a pin drop. She wouldn't answer, and people thought she was kidding. She was
no, she wasn't kidding.
She was poorer.
See there?
Yeah.
And people start, little talking start and then she said, she said for richer. And then when she finally get it, she said for poorer. Just like that.
Right.
And I mean, needless to say, that marriage did not last.
And
there you go.
And I was about to say that even during the counseling process, for those who go to counseling, the topics that are to be raised in the counseling session, it's not supposed to be encouraging you to go married.
Exactly.
The counselor is supposed to be highlighting some of the real challenging situations and scenarios that can possibly arise in a marriage. So clearly, maybe she didn't get that message.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know how her counseling went.
Right.
But when we did counseling, they gave us a questionnaire. It's the same questionnaire, but we were told not to share our answers. So he had to answer the questions. I had to answer the questions, and it went from soup to nuts, from everything, from how you want, what colors you want on your walls, from how you housekeep, from how you cook, from how you want to do relationship things, and what how furniture, everything it asks for. And then they evaluated the answers, the responses rather, to see whether or not you were even on the same wavelength. Because sometimes when you do these evaluations prior to the counseling, because you're going to come and say, yes, me love him, yes, I love her, this, because your hair is still glossy, your figure still nice, no baby, no born yet, you don't have no stretch marks, everything is banging. But you want to see what's up here. There got to be something up in the cranium, something up there, so that you can fall back on the person's sense of humor. Me and Rav can do a whole day. We'll laugh, entertain each other. Him find when me say funny, me find when him say funny. We can draw, memories back together. So it's not just running around and saying I'm in love, I'm in love. Because if you get one good slap with life, it's all over. You have
Thank
to have
you.
some substance.
Yes, thanks for that.
Yeah.
And so we're wrapping up. Norman and Max, your final comments here.
Okay, so for those of you who are watching and listening, marriage is not a bed of roses, as they would say. It is dedication. Yes. First, it's family.
Mhm.
It's putting up with each other, likes and dislikes, because there's gonna be issues. There's gonna be the negatives after all the partying is over. But you have to be able to deal with it. You have to be able to sup it up sometimes, as the Jamaicans would say, swallow it and live on.
Yeah, you gotta
Because
roll
it's
with
not a
it.
bed of roses. If you really want it to work, you
Mm-hmm.
gotta roll with it. Yes.
Yes, and
Yeah.
Norman.
So you know what? There's gonna be ups and downs in marriage. Yes, there's gonna be ups and downs in marriage, and you must see you in there. It's gonna happen. So when that starts to happen, you how to deal with it. Once you know how to deal with it, you can get years like Ralph and 30, 3 years like Maxine and how to
Mm-hmm.
deal with ups.
Mhm.
Yes. Well, we want to wrap up now, but I think we had a good run, and thank you for sharing from your heart. Um, it's not a bed of roses, some people will say, but there is that mutual respect, I believe, that
Exactly.
keeps
Mutual
the
respect
urge
and
to
love and
appreciate
caring.
each other every day,
Yeah.
no matter what. So, Jackie, your final comments before?
Well, I like you said, mutual respect and love and caring. And I honestly think that not everybody is compatible together. Not all couples are compatible. And the earlier they recognize that, I don't see any problems in them separating, because sometimes it makes their lives better. And sometimes you have people pushing them, go try and make it work, when you know definitely it's not going to work. So we also have to be real there too. Not all couples belong together.
Sure.
So
That is,
that's a part of the reality.
as we would say, that is gospel truth.
Yes.
Yeah, but we want to thank you for joining us this morning, and we appreciate it, because everybody out there on a whim about love and Valentine's Day, but sometimes you have to get into the back office to see
Yeah.
Yes.
what's happening
Mhm.
behind there. And it's not just about what we are seeing on the outside, while people are having issues, serious issues that perhaps they're not even seeking help for. So
Right.
thank you. So this has been our post Valentine's Day show, ladies and gentlemen. Come make we elaborate,
Wonderful.
talk up the things. So we talk up the things. Again, some of the things couldn't be mentioned here. But we do know
We are
that,
going to draw it. We are going to draw it from here.
right. So we appreciate all of you
Australia's
for
an
tuning in
artist.
with us. Yes, we
Not
appreciate
true.
all of you for joining us here this morning, and it has been good, good, good. As we say, love is in the air.
Yes.
Yeah, man. So we can sing we way through and stuff, and great expectations and all of that. So coming next week, which is the 25th, get ready. Favorite foods as children. So we're going to be talking about what we used to love as picnic. I mean, maybe they must show on us to them,
Or is this where somebody's gonna have to guess what something that we liked?
Because
Is that it?
we want the prize.
Yes, yes, yeah.
You know something? I have the cake already. The cake is a black cake. because I got an order, so I made an extra cake. So it's there, and it's gonna be. I'm going to wet it every day. So whoever get that cake is gonna be happy.
So we liked some favorite foods as children, and if you name one or two, then Jackie go and give you a cake. So that's the
No, they have to guess something that I really liked as a child.
right. So see it there.
I'm
Thanks for
going to
the
give you hints.
Mhm.
Hints in between.
Thank you, Jack. So it's on Jackie, not us. So you all can figure out what she liked as a child as a favorite food, and you'll win a cake. So looking forward to seeing everybody next week. But again, we love to
Yay!
say tata and blessings. And for participating in the show this evening, we couldn't have done it without you. So
And thanks to
enjoy.
our guests.
Yes.
Brother Ralph, I think Max's
Yeah, they
internet
fell
is
off.
acting up, but we thank them both.
Thank you, guys. So
for being here.
enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone.
Yay!
That's been another
Ta-ta!
Yes,
great
take care.
Thank
Saturday
you.
morning. Until next week.
Hi, I'm Lady D Denise Gomez, and I have exciting interview segments and features inside the zone. For recording artists, you can sing. Well, Inside the Zone, second Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. is for you. Writers, share your story, no man, in From the Author Zone on third Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Mail Zone has unbelievably juicy stories of love, heartbreak, and triumph. 7 p.m. has never been this good. On Mondays, it's news, talk, engaging features at 7 in the Monday Drive. And Center Stage has everyone talking on Thursdays. Be a part of the show. Email me insidethezone@gmail.com or call me 904-304-26